The storm had passed. The ships survived. But the fear did not disappear. It settled. It hardened. And within a few years, the King of Scotland did something extraordinary. He wrote a book, not about war, not about politics, not about royal alliances. He wrote a book defending the existence of demons. The king was James VI of Scotland, also known as King James I of England. And in 1597, he published Demonology, a serious work arguing that witches were real, that the devil was active, and that rulers had a duty to destroy those who served him. Pause for a moment. A reigning monarch writing a theological defense of witch hunting. This was not fringe belief whispered in taverns. This was fear, printed and bound. Why would a king do this? James had already witnessed the North Berwick Trials. He had personally questioned the accused. He believed witches had attempted to sink his ship. To him, this was not superstition. It was attempted regicide by supernatural means. And if the devil could attack a king, then no one was safe. James saw his role not just as political leader, but as spiritual guardian. Scotland, in his mind, was a Christian kingdom under threat. So he wrote, "What is Demonology?" The book is structured as a dialogue. Two speakers discuss sorcery, witchcraft, possession, spirits, and deception. It reads calm, measured, almost academic. But beneath that calm tone is a firm conclusion. Witches exist. Demons operate in the real world. And denying this truth is dangerous. James argues that skeptics are weakening society. To him, disbelief opens the door to evil. That argument is important, because once belief becomes moral duty, punishment becomes justified. What the king claimed. In Demonology, James insists that witches make formal pacts with the devil. He describes witches renouncing God, swearing loyalty to Satan, receiving powers in exchange for obedience. He writes that witches can cause illness, influence, whether spread chaos. But he also insists that witches themselves are weak. The true power comes from demons. Witches are merely instruments, tools, agents. This framing changes everything. It turns witchcraft into organized spiritual warfare, not superstition, not gossip, battlefield between heaven and hell. Why this was dangerous. When ordinary people believe in demons, it affects villages. When a king writes about demons, it affects law. Demonology gave intellectual weight to prosecutions. It reinforced the Witchcraft Act. It strengthened the idea that harsh punishment was righteous. Judges, ministers, and interrogators could point to royal authority. The king himself believed this. The king had written about it. The king had defended it. And when fear is endorsed from the top, it spreads more easily. The timing matters. This book was published only a few years after the North Berwick Trials. The panic was fresh. The memories were recent. The executions had already happened. James was not theorizing. He was reinforcing. The book did not start the witch hunts, but it helped justify them. It gave structure to belief. It gave language to fear. And once something is written, it lasts. A king and his legacy. In 1603, James became King of England as well. His ideas traveled south. His reign coincided with continued belief in witchcraft across Britain. Culturally, the atmosphere of fear influenced literature and public imagination. Even Shakespeare's Macbeth, written during James's reign, reflects contemporary anxieties about prophecy and witches. But the most important detail is this: a monarch believed in demons strongly enough to defend them in print, not privately, publicly, formally, and permanently. Closing Demonology is not just an old book. It is a window into the mind of a ruler who believed unseen enemies threatened his kingdom, a ruler who saw witchcraft as organized, dangerous, and real. And when power defines fear as truth, the consequences are no longer abstract. They become interrogation rooms. They become confessions. They become fire. The storm that frightened the king passed quickly, but the book he wrote that lasted, and it shaped how a nation hunted its demons.